Don't get satisfied. Let's go! The AT&T Stadium crowd is making a lot of noise.
I hope for the same thing.
It is a spectacle, this place.
Come on, take the ball away, dude. America's team! America's team! That's who we are!
Welcome to Cowboys Flashback. I'm your host, Britt Johnson. The Dallas Cowboys left the City of Angels with their first of hopefully many W's this season. Greg the Leg Zuerlien kicked a game-winning 56-yard field goal for a final score of 20-17 over the Los Angeles Chargers.
What about, I mean, it's like 2 weeks in a row now. These games keep coming down to the end. That's kind of the way the football is. Take us through the mindset of their drive, your team's driving, and you know you're probably going to get a chance to kick a long one there.
Yeah, I mean, that's football. I don't think you're ever really out of it. And so when they have the ball, you're just trying to stay warm into the net because you never know what's going to happen. And we got the ball back, and I've been in situations in the past, you're like, okay, you might get a chance here. And so just stay warm into the net and wait.
Do you put it in your mind that it doesn't matter what, I mean, you're always going to probably get a field goal, even though they could go get a touchdown, but you're just thinking, I've got to get ready for a field goal here at all times.
Yep. The mindset is always, for me as a kicker, that it's going to be a field goal. You know, I don't ever plan on scoring a touchdown, which ideally that's what happens, great. But, you know, mentally you're always thinking that it's on you.
I think your first kick, maybe with the Cowboys last year, was here, and it was a long one too. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you're getting these 50-plus ones, what's the mindset there? What are you thinking? Is it any different than an extra point or a 25-yarder?
Nope, it's always the same. You have the same swing on a PAT as you do on a long one, and so that's the mentality. You just go out there, and really you try not to think about what distance is it from. You just pick your spot and go from there.
Is it kicking kind of like golf where you can kind of self-correct there in the middle? I mean, like you had a couple of kicks you wanted back last week. You got it back on track, and now here you are here, and it's the same thing. Is it like that where you can kind of fix one thing and technique and move forward?
I think, I don't know. I'm terrible at golf, first of all, so I don't know how to compare it to that. But as far as kicking wise, it's more about trusting the process. You know, you don't throw out your swing, like I said last week, just because you miss some kicks. You go into practice, you figure out what you did wrong, and you try and correct that. And so I think that's really all it is just being confident and trusting the swing.
You've been around a lot of football here, and how good of a win is this? You know, coming back like that, a tough loss last week, bouncing back so many guys out, so much adversity throughout the week, and to come in here in a roller coaster game and get a win like that, how big is it?
Yeah, awesome. Anytime you get a win in the NFL, it's fantastic because winning this league is very hard. And really, I don't think you can look at past weeks or future weeks. It's always just every Sunday anybody can win. And so to get a win is awesome. It's so dang hard to win.
Great. Thanks, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Enjoy it. Thanks.
The 56-yarder was Zuerlien's second longest of his career. Greg the Leg may have cost the Cowboys the game against Tampa Bay, but he received the game ball against the Chargers.
Great job. You know, great week. Let's give it up for Greg right here.
I give out my game ball when we return on Cowboys Flashback.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T. Choose VA. Veterans get the benefits you've earned. Visit choose.va.gov. And by Reliant, an NRG company. This segment is brought to you by AT&T.
Welcome back to Cowboys Flashback. Game balls are given to a player that impacted the game the most, and, well, they're usually given by the coach. But on Cowboys Flashback, I get to give away my own game ball to a player I thought impacted the game on Sunday. My game ball today is going to a guy that I have actually been a huge fan of and so excited to see him have the impact on the game like he did. Tony Pollard. Pollard rushed for 109 yards, a touchdown, and added an additional 31 yards receiving. Let's hear from my game ball recipient himself on his post-game interview.
All right, Tony, just talk about how exciting that game was, just kind of the ups and downs, ebbs and flows, and you guys getting the win. How excited is it?
It was big, it was big for the team, having a tough game like that, a close one, back and forth, momentum just swinging. It's big for the offense to come out, finish the game with the game-winning field goal and just come out with the dub.
Is this the biggest that you've been a part of a game plan in a while, maybe since college? It felt like you and Z kind of really were 50-50 on those carries.
Yeah, we just wanted to go with who was hot, we both feed off each other. So if he was hot, we would have just went that way, but, it just turned out that way for this game, and we got the dub.
There's a lot of talk about, who's playing more, who should get more. You and Zeke have no controversy at all. Or you guys love to have the 1-2 punch?
Yeah, we're good. As long as we're getting W's, winning, everything's fine.
Did you feel like you guys were able to you were kind of going a lot on the outside, had a few inside, you were mixing it up. Kellen did a nice job of kind of getting you guys doing different spots.
Yeah, he did a great job, play calling, calling the plays for this week, especially after the game we had last week, with an explosive offense, we were able to display, show that we can move the ball up and down the field. He did a good job of switching it up, but just keeping the same energy.
How have you been able to stay patient with knowing you can do more, be a big part of the offense, but also not trying to rock the boat in any way, just know that the touches will come?
I've been doing this my whole life. Been the underdog my whole life. Been, overlooked. So I'm used to it. So I'm used to grinding and working for everything I have. So it comes natural to me.
You have more guys out of this game than I probably can count on one hand, with Tank and Gregory and Donovan Wilson and Gallup, and you guys were able to come in here and get this win. How big is it knowing that you guys are going to get your better players coming back too?
It's just big, us coming out getting this team win with a lot of our big-time players, our big-time dogs not on the field. So it's big, it just shows the team that, we all can do this. We all we have.
Are you one of those big-time players, though?
You can say that.
One more. Dak, down the stretch, he was like not in a hurry at all. You guys have complete confidence that you're going to get in field goal range, and then Zuerlien's going to make the kick.
Yeah, we practice that all the time. I couldn't even tell you how much we practice this on a weekly basis. It's over and over. So we're kind of used to it. It's second nature once we get out there on the field for game day.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tony receiving my game ball is partly due to the offense being more balanced this week in their pass and run game. Dak Prescott may not have had any touchdown passes or record-breaking stats Sunday afternoon, but it's all about that W-I-N.
Yeah, we didn't throw it 50 times. I think we're a whole lot more balanced. And Kellen did a great job just mixing it up. And us as players, we've got to convert on some of those third downs. He still put us in great position, called great plays. Took a sack. I feel like I could have got the ball out there in the third quarter. Just different times, but he's dialing them up right now. He's doing a great job, different personnels, run, pass, play action, and he's putting us in great position to make great plays, and we've just got to continue to execute and get better.
You talked a lot about complementary football this offseason. This is like the first time going back to 2017 you won a game without scoring 30 points. Is this an example of what you're talking about and what you want the identity of this team to be?
Yeah, for sure. As I said last week, right, we're going to have to go out there and have to score a bunch to win some games, and then there's going to be some games like this one. And I think it showed tonight. Defense did a great job. Turnovers, big turnover down there in the red zone when it was needed. And then we were able to come back out, go get 3. It's just important to play off of one another. When one team makes a big play, the other unit has to come on there and do a good job of picking up their back and picking up and taking advantage of them making that big play, right? And so that's what complementary football is about. That's how you win games. That's how you become a championship team and be the team that we want to be.
Complementary football, that's what is going to take us to Super Bowl 56. But as I like to say, offense sells tickets, defense wins games, and we will hear from the defense when we return.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T.
With both defensive ends DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory out, as well as safety Donovan Wilson, the defense had to really step it up. And, well, they did just that with 2 interceptions and, of course, a first career NFL sack for rookie Micah Parsons.
Last time you played that much end?
High school.
Was it natural, or did you come back, or was there some rough moments for you?
A lot of it was natural. Some people had a long day out there.
What was the best part of making that switch over?
The best part is really just reason why I say they drafted me. I mean, I'm just showing different versatility what I can do. And I think, after today, we can open the playbook even more. I mean, I think my teammates and Coach Q put an unbelievable amount of faith in me, and it just keeps building my confidence up to realize I could do much more than what I thought I could do.
You look forward to moving around throughout the season? You look forward to moving around throughout the season?
Of course, manipulating matchups and taking advantage of the, matchups we got out there. I think that's what makes good football teams great.
Can you talk a little bit about the sack of Herbert when you pushed him all the way back to the 30, that play and how it developed?
They did a post play where the guard pulled. Once I read out a run, I was able to beat the guard and do heavy pursuit. I mean, I was chasing him all day. I really wanted Herbert, and I finally got to him. So, I was happy about that.
Micah, your simple reaction to getting your first career win?
That's because, I think we should have won last week, and, I feel like we supposed to win. You know what I mean? I don't know any team out there that prepares more than, Coach Mike and Coach Q prepares us. And, our expectation is to win. So, the first one's good, but it's a long way to go.
Mike, are there different mindsets that you have when you're playing Mike linebacker as opposed to when you're full-time hand on the ground?
Nah, my main mindset is to be dominant throughout the whole game and, play at a high level. And every time I'm out there, make a play. So whether I'm rushing a quarterback or stuffing a run, that's what I want to do, is be dominant as possible.
The way that, pass rushers rotate during the course of a game, is that frustrating at all that they were giving you series off and things like that?
Yeah, just as a competitor, I hate coming off, you know what I mean? So when I'm coming off, I'm like, damn, why am I coming off? Like, I feel like I'm just warming up, you know what I mean? Like, I said something to Coach J, I said, man, next week I'm going to have to get some linebacker. When I'm not there, let me go to the rush. Like, I just want to do it all. And I'm just embracing everything they throwing at me, because the more I could get on the field, the more I could play. And I feel like the more I could help this team win.
Parsons wasn't the only young baller with a big night. Trayvon Diggs had an interception in the first quarter, recording his 5th in just 14 career games, tying for 3rd fastest player in team history to reach 5 picks.
What a win. I mean, can you just go through that? I mean, you guys so close last week, and then to come back, play pretty much the same type of game, and this time get it. This is kind of the way the NFL is, huh?
Yeah, it feels so good to win. It feels so good to win. We went out there, competed, held up in the red zone a lot, leaving them the 3 points, not any touchdowns and stuff like that. So, we were just holding up and, feel good to win.
You faced a lot of great receivers, one of them being your older brother your whole life. How good was Keenan Allen as far as, he's such a great route runner?
Yeah, he is a good route receiver, like real good routes, good tempo with his routes and stuff like that. It was a good competition today. I enjoyed it, and yeah.
It looked like you did travel with him a lot. Maybe not every time, but
no, I traveled with him every time. But yeah, sometimes we was in zone, so I couldn't really, get right there. But I was following the whole game.
And then to go back to your interception, I mean, there's always a knock on. Well, corners aren't you're supposed to have great hands. You're ending that trend, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Working on my hands every day. Just trying to be around the ball as much as I can, get my hands as many balls as I can, make sure I catch it. So you get more interceptions, get turnovers. Lead off on the team, and everybody get interceptions and turnovers.
Was that a road game?
Which one?
Was this one right here?
It was home. That was home. That was our home game.
It almost had like a college atmosphere, it seemed like a bowl game as far as back and forth. Just talk about the intensity of the crowd and kind of, both teams were feeding off of it.
Definitely. We really missed that last year. We got that this year. The crowd, we really need the crowd. And, it's great. Our fans are great. They travel, come and see us play, and we needed them a lot.
No Gregory, no Donovan Wilson, no Tank. You guys figured out ways to do it. Micah Parsons rushing here and all that. You guys had Jaron Curse coming in. Just what does it speak for the resiliency and the depth of the defense to come and do that?
It's real good. You got to have depth in the defense. Next somebody go down, next man got to step up, and we expect the same play from them as we do from the starters. So everyone stepped up, everyone did their job, and we came out with the dub.
Awesome. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I have a special guest joining me next for this week's game-altering play when we return.
This segment is brought to you by Ashley Home Store, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
A lot can happen in 4 quarters of a game, and any play can make a huge impact on the outcome. I'm here with Cowboys senior writer Nick Eatman, who is actually at the game, and he is going to break down the G.A.P Moment game-altering play of the game. I'm so excited for this segment because this is what changes the game.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, there's a lot of plays that happen in the game, starting first quarter, second quarter. A lot of ones to choose from here, but really it comes down to the fourth quarter like most games do with the Cowboys, and that's where this really happened. And it started here when it looked like the Cowboys were going to, you know, the Chargers are going to take the lead there. Jared Cook, who's hurt this team before back in the playoffs 2016, Herbert throws it to him. They're going to get their first lead, but it was a penalty. It really happened at the top of the screen that 2 guys were moving there. They dropped a very late flag. Next thing you know, it's taken off the board, and this taunting penalty that you know, nice little chef there from Jared Cook, that goes off the board as well. So move them back just 5 yards. So it's going to be a 1st and goal from the 7th. Still, you know, and then there was a pass to Anthony Brown that we skipped over that. This is really the G.A.P moment. This is the play. Micah Parsons just would not be blocked, and this just getting right in his face there. That's the difference. If we actually can watch it again, Herbert knows he needs to throw it away. He thinks he's got more time, but it's just the explosiveness of Micah Parsons to get right there, and he's being fending him off. Now, if you're the Chargers, you're probably mad at this because I thought he did a nice job of getting away with it. But they called a sack. That's an 18-yard loss. That changes everything because now on 3rd and goal from the 25, you got to protect your kicker. You got to get a field goal, and they're just going to something safe here to Austin Eckler, get them, you know, manageable so they can kick it and tie the game. But that sack and the penalty to start with, but the sack really changed everything because now all they could do was tie it. And, of course, we know what the Cowboys did afterwards. But Micah Parsons just figured it out and made a really nice play in that.
Yeah, no, that was his first sack of his NFL career, and it was a controversial one. How do you think he feels about it?
Well, he probably loves it. You know, he loves it. But, yeah, the Chargers have got to be mad about it because I thought Herbert, like I said, I thought Herbert did a nice job of throwing it away. But really, you know, it was a play where all game long he was getting closer and closer and closer. And finally, when it mattered the most, he got there.
Well, I thought it was amazing. And, you know, sometimes it goes in our favor, sometimes it doesn't. This time it did, and I'm sure the Cowboys are excited. I'm sure Micah Parsons is excited. And I can't wait for more of these. We will have more of these G.A.P moments probably every week, every other week or so. I don't know if Nick's going to join on all of them.
We'll
see.
He's
really good at it. I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. But thank you so much. We will be back in just a moment. We will have our game reactions from players and from fans right after the break on Cowboys Flashback.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T. Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T, Reliant, an NRG company, and by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
First win! Go! Y'all already know what it is, man! Cowboys 1-0. That's how we get a win, baby.
All right, you just saw the reactions from the players after the game, and let me tell you, everybody was super excited. This was the Cowboys' first win in 2021. This includes preseason. Now, we have reactions from Twitter, and they were amazing. This first one is going to be the best one you have seen all week. Wow, now this is a knockout celebration selfie, Cowboys victory. I don't know if you can see this as well as I can, but there are a lot of amazing people in this picture. You hear Charlotte, Jerry, Conor McGregor's here, Post Malone. Like, this is probably the best selfie I've ever seen. Awesome. Let's move on to this next one here. Ray in SD, why does the field at Dallas Stadium say Los Angeles on it? This was actually a funny joke because it looked like a Dallas Cowboys home game to me. I mean, there were tons of Cowboys fans there. It was amazing. Lewis said, Dallas Cowboys defense looking I think you were, you know, being funny on that one, a little sarcastic because they looked pretty darn good to me. This next one says, Dallas Cowboys, I'm not into sports, but Cowboys rule. That's the spirit. I don't care if you like any other team, as long as you like Cowboys. That is what I like to see. Dallas Cowboys, during that game, I never lost faith, and my only jersey got ruined last year. You think you could help a fan out. Either way, awesome game. I specifically picked this one because I think you're great, and I want you to get that jersey. And this final one, my hat's off to Dak. He did what he had to do in the game to win, especially with 5 starters missing. If clock management was like that last week, a different outcome. Let's hope McCarthy learns his lesson. Well, it was a great week 1. We ended up winning the game, so I'm happy with that. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is our week 2 wrap-up. I'm Britt Johnson. This is Cowboys Flashback. We'll see you guys next week.